Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm Mark.
I'm Jay.
Pleased to meet you, Jay.
Sir. Thank you. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, there's no problem. So what I'm going to do, Jay, is I'm going to work around the house, all the exterior and everything. Now, the entire time I'm on the site, this camera's running, okay. So it records everything. You get to look at the camera and everything, the video and everything. It's about as interesting as watching paint dry. But it's very useful for me to go back over tomorrow or this evening when I go through the report, to look at things like, well, why did I take a photograph of that, or just exactly what was there. That's why I use it for, it's to improve the accuracy of the inspection process.
That's great.
Okay. So I'm going to get started. You'll hear me making comments. You can ask questions at the time, but probably the best thing is wait to the end. The comments will all be on the video, you'll get them at the end and everything. They don't really form the report, as I say, they're just backup information. We have trees in contact with the roof here. They need to be cut back. In fact, the tree is too close to the foundation and they can invade the sewer lines. And we need to find the sewer lines, and they'll be around this area. Exactly where is often a bit of a problem to find. You say you know it has cast iron. Do you know where the actual clear outs are? Okay, well we'll look for them and find them. Sometimes they don't even have them. In which case, you know, you've booked the sewer cam. If we don't use it, you don't get charged. But let's hope we find them, because we really want to look inside that sewer. So, the roof here, we'll go up on the roof, but just from the ground it looks average. Grade is pulling away from the foundation, indicates that it's drying out and it will need watering. soaker hoses fixes that problem, but if it's ignored it will actually lead to foundation movement in the future. Yeah, we've got foundation pulling away here. Basically a gap opens up between the grade and the foundation. Small crack coming down between the bricks and the soldier bricks. That's okay. Moving to the right hand elevation. Electrical drop loop. Meter. Well, we have an in-ground sprinkler system by the look of it, but don't see any evidence of it being used. So we have a differential settlement crack at the right elevation. And we have gable ventilation. This is the side elevation, right side. We have damage, water penetration damage to the siding. We have water penetration damage at the roof. Watch out, there's a wasp nest and they're all coming out. Little bastards. I'm none too fond of being stuck. We have our hose bib here. We have the right pressure. And then we have downpipe that should be extended. I have holes in the siding around the light. Wood rot at the doorpost. More wood rot here. And and the siding's in contact with the soil. And damage to the siding here, and water penetration at the eaves. Okay, see if we can open that door. Are we going back out there? Grip it at the bottom. That's locked it. That's unlocked it. And somebody jammed on it. Okay.
Terms police.
That's
Or the purchase.
what, they're going to fix it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's broken. Okay, we'll walk around. Damaged fence here. Okay. We're in the garage. The garage ceiling, in fact, has been removed, and there's vents going through into the house itself. We have a garage door opener. But it's disconnected and it's also damaged. Whenever you see a modification like this, you know the door itself is in poor condition, and they never last very long. It's because of the forces that exert themselves at that point are really very, very high. And it's a lever, so let's say we have 100 pound of pressure on there and it's 2 foot, that's 200 foot-pounds of pressure. That's going to break. Okay, we have the electrical panel here. At least we have one. There's abandoned engines in here, do you know that? Yeah. There's an old irrigation system. This is a sub panel. There'll be another panel inside the house. My screwdrivers have fallen out in the car, so I'm going to go and get them. This is the sub panel in the garage. We're actually incorrectly installed. It's not got a floating neutral and ground. Okay, continuing our inspection around the house. This is the door that wasn't opening properly from the inside. It's not going to move. Gas here. We also have a hole in the wall here, and we have more foundation pulling away from the grading pulling away from the foundation. It's pretty severe on the left-hand elevation. There's some poor caulking along here. Definitely going to be letting the water in. And the windows are fogged. There's insulation missing from the coal pipes, and there should be caulking along the top here. Well, we know the air conditioning is working. We'll see how efficiently when we measure it. Here we've got more windows with fogging. We're going in under the bushes here. This is far too close to the foundation, and here we have a door. We'll open that from the inside. I'm not going to attempt to open it at the moment. Have another gate here. And we have movement in the foundation affecting the door opening. Here we've got a lot of issues with the roof. We've got a big leak here, incorrectly installed outlet. More water damage and penetration. And I thought we had some cracking in the walls, but we don't appear to. More water penetration here. How'd you get on?
I'm not sure. Found a PVC. Kind of like a...
Yeah, that was anti-siphon on it. That's all you can find there, so it may not be there. Let's go and have a look. Got to go back round that side anyway. What we didn't do was look out here, because sometimes in the older properties they put the clean outs at the rear yard, but that's not the case here. No, and I can't see anybody else's clean outs. There's always a clue, you know. If you look and see somebody out another house, you think, aha, I got an idea where that's going to be. Okay. Yeah, the PVC pipe is here. Let's get round here. That's actually part of the irrigation system. And this is just leaves. Let's have a look where that... It's there. It's going to be anywhere, it's going to be in this area here. It's in the ground, yes, they're always in the ground. Don't seem to be there, do they? Okay, well, let's check on the top of the roof. Let's go up there. Now I'm going to go up on the roof. Don't follow me because you're not insured. Okay, so, and because it's not our property, any damage done to it, I'm liable to. Okay, and my insurance company, if you did it, they won't pay for it.
Right.
But there's no great shakes. You don't really want to be up on a roof, frankly. Okay, there are two roofs on this, and the under roof is in poor condition, that's why this was added, and the top roof is in poor condition. It's lifting, shingles are delaminating. That's the riser. We have a skylight. It's okay. Have a PVC riser, it's been put in, but it's in poor condition. Boot, and the boot here is okay, although it's got signs of a previous repair. We have wind lift on the rear left slope, and we have severe distortion in the roof over the garage. The roof itself is spongy. Here we are at the clean out. We can probably put our camera down there, but the roof is distorting badly at the rear elevation over the garage. This whole area here got a lot of sag, and a lot of sag here. Now when a roof starts to leak, the shingles start to allow water through. It then affects the decking, and that could be what's happening here. The decking's been affected and it's beginning to collapse, so the possibility is that this will need to be redecked as well. This is up at the roof's very spongy, got a lot of movement. Here we've got the chimney. There's a lot of wood rot on the chimney, signs of water penetration at the chimney cap. There's more penetration here, and we've got considerable wood rot on the chimney at its left elevation. Could you put your foot on the bottom of the ladder for me? That's great. Always nice to have something there. Most times I'm getting off, nobody's there. It's always a bit of a hair raising. Getting on is always easy. Getting off is always the point at which you risk falling. This is the interior inspection. We have missing covers, often taken off during decoration. Up here we have some movement in the ridge, and we have some movement in the coping at the top there. We have a crack running down to the door, indicating some amount of movement, and we have separation of the cornice from the ceiling in this corner here. And we've got more separation up there. And in itself, it doesn't mean necessarily there's anything wrong, because the Texas houses, they all move, all the foundations. That door's not sticky. It's always good to know. That door's not sticky. That one's okay. And that's good news. It really is. It means any movement that we've got is pretty slight. Okay, here we have the electrical panel. So we're going to get into this panel. Electrical panel, actually the closet, which is not a good place for an electrical panel because if a fire should start it's surrounded by accelerants in the form of clothes, and we have a General Electric, which is good. It's not Federal Pacific. They're always a bad news because they're prone to catching fire themselves. They've got the wrong type of screws in here. Never want to have screws with points in them, you see, because they can cut the insulation, and then of course the whole panel can become live. Listening to me, you think you were living in a death trap, wouldn't you? Okay, there's an electrical panel. And what we're hoping is that it's copper, not aluminum. And I think it's copper. It is, it's copper. So that's good news. Yeah. Yep, it's copper. See, aluminum was used in the 60s because copper had become very expensive. Now, can I just let those, get those here a second? Become very expensive, and as a result they tried to cut costs. They put aluminum in, but they made a few mistakes in doing it. They didn't use the right type of terminations, and often they would mix copper and aluminum together. Well, copper and aluminum put together makes a CU-Lu thermocouple. In other words, you can measure temperature with it. And the reason you could do that is because each has a different electrical potential. Copper has more electrons than aluminum. As a result of that, there's always a flow of current between the aluminum and the copper, and as it travels from one to the other, I'll hand that to you. As it travels from one to the other, it causes both to corrode. And the corrosion increases the resistance, and then of course we all know what increased resistance brings about. It brings about fires. Let's see, is that going to go into there? It is. I know it came out, but they often they're tricky because somebody fiddled to get it in there. That's the wrong way around. Oops, is it? No. It's not the wrong way round. Let me come out of this side. And so all of these properties that had the aluminum put in then became subject to fires. That didn't mean every one of them caught fire, but enough caught fire for them to ban aluminum wire from being used in new build, but all the old builds that had it still have it, and so you can get this spontaneous ignition sometime behind the wall of an outlet because the resistance of the two wires are cut together. It's now turned it into an electric fire. So what do you do for a living?
Nothing right now.
All right.
What do you start school in the fall, and
what are you going to study?
Animation.
Oh right, on computer animation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'm also certified as a personal trainer, so once I find where I'm going to be living for the next year,
you can work as a personal trainer.
Yes.
So that what you work at one of the gyms or something like that?
Yes,
yeah.
That's the plan.
That's a good idea.
Make my own hours so I can study.
Yeah, that's right. It's always a good idea to work at the same time. There we go. Okay, that's in. Well, the good news is that the wiring by and large is okay. That's a plus.
Yes.
That's a plus, right? Now we can't vouch for what's actually in the walls and everything, but there's no the walls. Nobody can touch them inside the walls. What normally happens is people fiddle with these things. You know, you get the well-intended amateur comes along. All sorts of things can go wrong. Let's put it back so she doesn't think we've been moving her stuff around.
I see the old attic access.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's put those lights back in. All as well, yeah, cool. Turn that out. Okay, so we've got crack down here as a result of foundation movement, but that is almost certainly due to the drying out of the soil and no watering. Yeah, we have water penetration at the windows. Okay, power, see what we got in here. Well, are you going to have a test, Guy?
Assuming the wife will receive the inspection.
That's a good way, that's a good move. If you like what you see, you've got to have one.
Yeah.
This is a result of a spider. Commonly the spider that does this is a brown recluse. You know they're poisonous.
Gotten bit by one before.
Okay, you don't want to be bitten by one again. No, you certainly don't. That's a brown recluse. And also there are so many conducive conditions out there for termites that it may well have termites, which, you know, as you're probably aware, it's fixable. There we have water penetration here. I'm going to turn this off. What I was doing was cleaning the sewer out. I'm going to have to attempt to get into the sewer from up on the roof. We have the stem there is incorrect. We have movement in the corners here, and we have movement along the roof line here. And this is what I'm thinking, because you know we talked about what we should do and everything else like that. I'm thinking that that roof may not take the weight of me and a camera and everything, and I can't check it. That's why I wanted to get in there. What I can do is I can measure the level of the foundation, and that will tell us whether or not the foundation is moving due to soil swelling. Okay, so instead of the 250, all it will be 100 on top of that basic charge we talked about. So it's going to come in at a lower cost to build. We're just talking about what we're doing as we're going around. I'm still working my way around. There is foundation movement. I don't know by how much, but there is movement. And the soils around the house have dried out, and that could account for that amount of movement. It's not catastrophic. It's just there, you know. What we were going to do was a sewer cam.
Oh, what?
A sewer cam.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
going to put
yeah.
a camera down the sewer line, but we can't find the clean outs.
Oh,
Yes, they are almost certainly cast iron. Okay.
well, with the age of the home.
Sorry, yeah, with the age of... no, I found cast iron upstairs, up in the roof. There's cast iron. It's thing. We'll do the we're going to do the foundation measurement, and then we'll come back. We'll look at, because it would be ideal to get that camera into that line. What I'm saying is that we may not put it down, because the roof, when I walked on the roof, it's got two roofs. There's 2 layers of shingles, and the roof is spongy.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Okay.
2 layers isn't necessarily bad. That can add insulation, but spongy is not good.
Well, 2 layers, it doesn't really have insulation. The problem with 2 layers is it does actually lead to the top layer deteriorating quicker.
Really?
Yes, it accelerates the wear. In addition to that, it causes a build-up of condensation, which is kept in by the shingles and the underlayment. That migrates into the actual decking, and that causes the decking to go soft. What does that really mean? Well, let's talk in repairing. It means that if you took the roof off, you'll probably want to redeck. Not necessarily, but there's a good chance you'd have to redeck as well. So that's the sort of thing that we want to find now.
Yeah.
You know, it's important. So let's continue. Yeah.
Do you need help with the cleanouts? Do you want me to make a call to the listing agent to see if maybe she can ask her seller where they are?
Yes, that would be really useful. Yeah. If we could find those cleanouts, we're away.
And then I know where the attic access is.
It's on the back here. We can't get into it.
Yeah, you need a ladder to get out.
No, I've been up there on
Oh,
a
you
ladder. The
can't
door
get
doesn't
through.
open. It hits the collar tie. Somebody's put a collar tie in. And the roof over the garage is collapsing.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Jay,
Yes.
do we need to go further?
Okay, Jay, how talented at fixing things are you?
Pretty talented.
How much of a career do you want to make of being a flipper?
Not necessarily flipping.
But
Renting.
it's...
This,
Yeah.
so with this, I'm hearing probably new roof. I don't know if that's, something negotiated, but the attic access is a big deal. Also, not just for the roof, but to do the cooktop venting that you want. And then we have this whole, egress over here problem, and then foundation on top of it, and cast iron, which we're back in the same boat. So, do you want to call Dad maybe and just do a quick bounce off? Do you want to see it through? Do you want to?
I guess I'd like to continue with the inspection.
Okay.
Possibly negotiate the price.
I'm going to charge you now anyway, but what I won't do, we won't put the sewer can down. Look, here's the thing with sewers and the cast iron sewers. The plumbers don't actually know what they're dealing with. I'm serious. The plumbers do not know what they're dealing with. I've got a degree in engineering, and I have a lot of experience of material science. It's quite advanced science that we're using to find out what's wrong with these sewer lines now. And in the Metroplex, I'm probably the only inspector that's got that knowledge. I've written a paper on it, and I'm going to get a copy of it. it's guaranteed that that sewer is going to need replacing if it hasn't been replaced. So my job when I put the camera down is to find out if it has been replaced, because sometimes it has and people just do not know.
No.
And I do find that. I find they've replaced it. But let's assume it hasn't been, and I think that's a good assumption. Okay, you're going to need a new sewer here.
Okay.
Except we you know, without the camera we can't turn around and say to the people, you know, there's a leak in it. So at some point we try and get the camera down into the top here, so that you at least have a shot at negotiating.
Okay, I just don't think there's a lot of squish room where the seller is on his payoff. So there's a diminishing point of negotiation where it makes it it's not able to sell because he doesn't have the money to come to the table, kind of thing. And you know, when we're talking about replacing sewer lines, you know, we before we just got a quote for a repair for a leak. I have heard replacing entire sewer lines can be upwards of 20 to 50,000. So, you know, is that accurate?
This sewer line under the house would be between 7 and 20,000, dependent upon who you hire.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that plus the roof, plus, and so I got a quote on to add the window to recess the door. We're talking 2,000 to 3,000 from a general contractor, and then also adding that ventilation over the cooktop.
The siding needs repair and replacement at 2
and
elevations.
Foundation,
And the
possibly.
I'm going to measure the foundation. I'll go and do that now.
Okay. I'll go find the cleanouts. It's just that, you know,
If it hasn't got a clean out, that's a real issue.
hasn't got?
If it has, no, some of
Is
them
that a
don't.
possible?
It is a possible.
I never even thought that was possible to not have a cleanout.
Yeah. You see, in the early 60s, the supervision of the build by the cities was almost non-existent. Okay.
And none of this work was permitted. I don't know if I told you that as well, but I found that out yesterday calling the city. The whole garage addition, the conversion, this was not permitted.
Well, hence no egress.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, I'll go make a call and clean out. I think it just becomes a decision about whether or not, you know, the things that we're looking at are potential costs that you want to incur over time. It becomes a liability on your shoulders because we're not going to be able to get the price down 20,000 to cover.
Okay, so what we do now is we're going to go around the rest of the house, and as we go around we're going to talk about what we see and why we see it.
Okay.
So that if you don't buy this house, I'm going to have you in a position that you don't call me in until you get to the point you think, hey, this one, Mark's going to be happy with this one. Do you see what I mean?
Okay.
Okay, so you're now my apprentice. Come on
Great
with
to
me.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, come with
I
me.
really appreciate that.
Okay, so this room doesn't have egress. We've just been talking about that. The problem with it is that most fires occur in the garage. They enter the house through the attic into the garage. How long do you think it would take a fire that entered the attic to hit this room? Give you a clue, okay? It's seconds, not minutes.
Okay. So, last way.
90 seconds. You wouldn't be able to get out. It would come through here. What actually happens is, as the fire progresses, you go out online, you'll see this. You want to do animation? Okay. You go out online, you have a look at this stuff. You can look fires in garages, North America. Just search on fire garages. Okay? You'll see it. You see the fire in the garage, and all of a sudden the whole house just explodes. Well, what is actually happening is in the garage, the flames are running out of oxygen. But the roof has vents on it, and that pulls in the oxygen. The fire then rushes through, because it's now got fresh oxygen, enters the garage, enters the attic. In the attic, everything is tinder dry. And it doesn't take more than a few seconds for it to explode. And These ceilings just come straight down. You would be enveloped in about 1200 degrees if you were in bed. Okay, that's how serious it is. So go and have a look at that, you'll see it, okay? And that's why this is so bad. This is a note, you couldn't use this room other than for storage. That's all you could do with it. In here we got the bathroom. We have a problem with a brown recluse in the bath. I'm not going to touch it because I don't know where the brown recluse is. We have ventilation. This ventilation is almost certainly ventilating into the attic.
I was going to say, it didn't look like
there's no vents on the roof itself. So we're going to go down. Now, one of the things that we always look for, and having these tiles, really excellent, right? Now you will find two types of cracks when you look for cracks in tiles. The first crack is really innocuous and means nothing, and it runs across a tile, but doesn't run through the grouting, okay? Or it might run through the grouting for 2 or 3. What has actually happened is the tile has been put down without the correct amount of adhesive. The adhesive dries, shrinks, and now you have hollows, and when you walk on it, it breaks. Now, the ones that you look for are the cracks that appear somewhere in the middle of the building, on the walls, right? And then run across, and you look to follow that crack, and it will run across to the other foundation, or disappear as it does there into a sunken floor, but you can't see it. Now, you ever see cracks like that? That indicates that the foundation is cracking. There are 2 types of foundation built at this time. The earliest part, the 60s, they had post-tension cable just coming in. It was invented by Texas A&E. Okay. So those Aggies aren't that dumb. Texas A&E invented it based on reports done by the Corps of Army Engineers. We also have rebar. This is almost certainly rebar. It's not a problem with either. It's just that one was designed specifically for Texas soils, while the other one was just designed for general soils. There are 3 types of soils in this area. There's the black gumbo, that's one out there. There's sandy loam, anywhere near lakes, sandy loam, and there's rock. Rock's good.
A wise man built.
A wise man built, yep. We have plenty of reasons to believe why rocks are good to build on. We learnt this at an early age. Okay, so there's this is often put up when the ceilings have started to crack.
Oh.
This is not modern. I've got this in my house. I'm an old timer. I think it's quite nice. My wife likes it. This isn't what the youngsters are putting up. I'm right, aren't I? Mm-hmm. Yes. So that raises my suspicions. Okay. So I'm Sherlock Holmes, you're Watson, right?
This isn't a contemporary dressing for a ceiling.
And it's new.
So he thinks it's being put there to disguise or cover.
Right, and that makes sense.
Yeah, it's there as a disguise. It's there to cover up what's wrong up there. And remember, we can't get in that attic.
Right.
Okay. This is an old chimney.
There is a cutout in the master bedroom closet.
Yes.
Like crawl space, okay.
Yeah, it's too small to go up through. Yeah. This fireplaces are always good to look at. And so what you want to do, because you don't want to put your hand in here, you want to go and buy yourself a little camera. Spend about 100, if you haven't got it, 140 bucks on it for Jitsu. Got a little flash on it. And then what you do is you want to look inside here. And you can do this when you go and look at a house. And basically what we've now got is we've got a look at the damper. This damper's okay, it's not running with water. Now if there's water stains there, we know the chimney's leaking. Okay. Not good on a chimney. Okay? So it's a little trick you can do yourself. I'm just telling him what you should do when he looks at houses.
Did you do the same with the mirror?
Yes. This has got the logs, right? And it's got the gas. They're fine. they're a complete waste of money. All of the energy goes straight up the flue. The amount of radiated energy coming from the actual concrete composite logs is minimal. So they're there to like it. So why do we have these? She'll be able to tell you.
Your girlfriend's gonna want one.
That's it. That's it in one. See,
I love my gas log.
Yeah, we used to.
My Christmas present 3 or 4 years ago, and man, it hit 70 degrees out, and we got our gas logs.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah, my wife heard my commentary on one of the videos, and I was saying, get rid of the gas fire. Oh no, you can't do that. Okay, so they are appreciated that way, but that's the only thing. They just give you that atmosphere. This is going to be the water heater. This is a complete no-no. This is terrible. This is a death trap.
Because of the ventilation?
The flue's disconnected.
Oh.
All of the gases are going into the house.
I don't remember that.
I don't either.
Okay. They're all going into the house. We've got black mold.
I didn't see that.
Can you see that there?
Yeah.
Well, if I see black mold here,
It's going to be in the wall.
there's going to be a lot of it in the wall. Now remember, I said the roof was leaking. Okay. So here's a tip. When you get to a house, you find a water closet and stuff like that. This is where you'll find the black mold.
We look for that stuff. We just missed it on this one.
Yeah. So, can you see up here where it's been leaking into the roof?
Come on this side.
We've got.
I will be right back.
See this pipe here?
Yes.
This is illegal.
Needs to be.
It's got to be solid. Okay. Now the reason is that if this tank were to explode, what actually happens is super hot steam comes through here. It's called superheated steam, and superheated steam expands thousands of times more than ordinary steam. It would split this in an explosive force. So this is not allowed. This is actually plastic. This is just like knights of armour. This is the braiding on the top. Stop the arrows. That's all it's for. Here we've got. This is really bad to have this. The most common cause of death in houses is from carbon monoxide poisoning. This water heater's leaking. Can you see down the bottom here? Can you see the rust?
Yeah.
See, it's got to have water to rust. Therefore, although it looks relatively new, it's 2009. Okay, it's 4 years old, and now it's you got to replace it. Look here. Water heater's rusted out. It's only 2009. It's rusted out.
Wow.
Incorrect installation. That's what happens. You put it in incorrectly.
How did the HVAC look? Did we look at it already?
We're going to look at it in a moment. I've cursorily looked at it, but you can see here. Can you see the?
Yeah.
Can you see the? They're coming down. Everything else is correct, but it's got a safety pan. It's required by code. That's about as useful as a chocolate teapot because it doesn't drain anywhere.
Right. Yeah, I was noticing that.
Yeah, it's like, why?
A chocolate teapot would melt.
Yes.
At least a chocolate teapot's more useful. You can eat it.
Right.
Like that. There's nothing you could do with that. Let's go and look at the AC unit. What we could do too. Home inspectors could do very limited. Did they say they know where the clear outs are?
I have. I just checked, and she hasn't responded yet.
Oh right.
And I thought I had seen on the side of the house, and I walked over here. I didn't see it now. So.
Yeah, we'll go and look for it again and see it. Okay, so you can buy one of these. Home Depot. Okay. And this is how you check in air conditioning. Shoot the return, which is down here, and we get the temperature of it, and we're told the temperature is 69.70. Actually, we'll have this so we can. And then we're going to take the temperatures here, 55, and we get the average. And the average just tells us whether it's performing well enough. I could tell you it's working.
I did a lot of work on ACs when I worked for maintenance.
Yeah. Did you get certified to pressure test?
No, but I did.
Yeah, you under supervision. Yeah.
No, I was doing it illegally, but.
Wow.
I was.
Yeah, it's because it's because if it escapes into the environment, you know the problems with it.
Right.
Okay. A couple more. So it's not performing that well. 52. That's 18. The other ones were 12. 49. Okay. Yes, there'd be ducting issues. Well, that's not much of a surprise, is it?
Not.
Okay, so here's the air conditioning unit. Now, the main thing with the air conditioning unit is not the cooling. Cooling, and the main thing about air conditioning unit is heating. And what we worry about with the heating is that the heat exchanger rusts out. This is the heat exchanger. What did I do with my? Probably put my flashlight down.
So you're looking for the thing in your head.
I've got it. Let's see. Okay. So we look inside the heat exchanger. You see at the back there. That's the heat exchanger, as you probably know from your days of doing that. And what we're looking for is rust. And if there's really rust, it's going to be down the bottom here, and we haven't got it. So this unit's in pretty good condition.
Yeah.
Yay.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, we got something to cheer.
One thing right.
One thing right.
Drain line's not right.
No. And drain line here. We've got condensation here.
Float switch at the top of an unsealed pipe.
Yeah. That is so common.
Really?
Yeah, it is. A lot of these have been put in by people themselves.
Yeah, I'd try it.
Did you? How did you get on? There we go. Alright, we have another chocolate teapot.
Yeah.
Float switch that's useless.
Next time I'm bringing my favorite book of stories. And we'll have a little reading time after the inspection.
Yes, that's right. That's correct.
Is that rusting on the... Or is that just flat? If that's leaking, that's bad.
That's leaking. That's Freon coming out.
Yeah. I was surprised it was the outside unit's not blowing very warm.
Okay, this is going into the sewer. See, when you see that, there's no pipe on the outside, so it's going into the sewer. Very common for properties of this age to have that. It was perfectly okay, considered perfectly okay. But you've now got a furnace in here, and what do you have in sewers? You have methane.
Yeah.
So we have a bomb.
Nice.
Nice. It's fun, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you want to be a home inspector?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You'd be a good home inspector.
You should think about it.
I would like to.
I have documentation. I never send you.
Really?
Yeah, I'm always looking for apprentices, so
Are you really?
That's
oh,
awesome.
yeah, I am. I hate these. Okay, this hasn't been turned on for a long while, that's all. There we go, we've got it. You can smell the gas. Look at the site. Where's that? Yeah, there it is. Let's take this one out. No, I can't get up there. Look in here. No. You have to get used to going around on your knees though if you're a home inspector. Not in there. Yeah, there it is. What I wanted to sketch sight of is the isolation valve. Okay. So this is the dishwasher. Water in the bottom of the dishwasher. Almost certainly means that it's not pumping properly.
Whoa. Oh, it's meant to be. I thought it melted.
You're brave to pick it up. I know what I thought that was.
What did you think it was?
Well, they're used in hospitals.
Oh, like a urinal glass?
Yeah. Sorry.
Awesome.
I get very suspicious. I'm terribly suspicious. Yeah. Before I was a home inspector, I'd walk into a house. Oh. Now as a home inspector, I walk in, it's like, The problem is if it's my family's house, so my daughter says, Dad!
Try running, maybe it's the air
It's,
duct
it,
thingy.
it's not working.
Maybe, is it a reset?
It's jammed. We can't get the motor to move. I'm going to turn it off.
Wow.
Okay.
You see how fresh this is?
Yes.
With no holes.
Yeah, it's all been painted up. Okay. So what we do now, we'll measure that foundation, because that will tell us a lot of what's going on under the house. Okay, I'll go and get the zip level. You said you thought you saw the pipes round the corner here?
Oh, sorry, Jay, I didn't realize you were
So this is a zip level. With it we can measure within 1/10 of an inch the level of the foundation.
So this is 0?
This would be 0. It doesn't matter where you do 0, because you can normalize the data and put the 0 wherever you like based on your vectors. But I always pick, normally I pick right at the front door because it's repeatable and I know I'll just go around and look at the garage. Okay, well I can't take the siding off, but I can see here that we've got a foundation, a slab. I believe that this extension, this addition, is built on the drive. It's actually not proper foundation. I'm going to call it out as such.
Okay. So it's not part of the house foundation. It's an additional.
I think it was yeah, it's an additional pour, and all it is slab. There's not a grade wall. So what I mean by a grade wall is around the edge of the actual foundation itself, it goes down about 3 foot on a single story house. Okay, that's called your grade wall, or it's also called a grade beam. And without that, the whole thing is prone to movement and tipping.
And that's why we have the big crack running down the center.
That's why you have the big crack running down the center. Well, you may be able to see it from here, but if you come here, see it far better. Just come back. Yes, you can see it. Look at the roof.
Oh yeah.
So this whole structure, yeah, it's pulling apart. It's going to separate from the house at some point. It would be cheaper than the other alternative for this house. A bulldozer. No, you've heard of the money pit, haven't you?
Found it?
Found it. Tick the box. This is the money pit. And it doesn't look at it. And when you first come in, it looks fine, doesn't it?
We thought it looked better than others that we've seen.
Isn't better than 4?
Is that what you're doing?
Okay. Well, you're free to go. I'll clear up and lock up and turn the lights off, and I'll go back and write the report and get it tomorrow morning. I'm sorry, but I'm really happy that you hired me.
Yeah. That's a lot.
I think the option is fairness for them to so I still have to look at the but I would rather not use it back to the file and then deposit it for years. I do. Just the option to
I mean, I'm just more concerned with the detail.
You okay then?
No, I was down in that area, but I never actually went to school there.
Right.
I went to the community college there for a little while, and then decided to take a break from school for a couple of years.
Well, you make a good inspector, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I would hire him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a good inspector.
It was so nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Thank
Yeah, and
you.
thanks for mentioning a meter.
Oh,
Yes.
you're the only person that I know that does everything that you do. You're the complete package.
Yes.
Yes, you
Apart
are.
from termites.
I didn't, honestly, what my warning was I didn't think we'd be able to get you.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
you
were
say
away
so.
the last week or two, and you know what's happened when we're away. Everybody thinks I'm still away. I was here.
Well, I just know that you stay very, very booked. I have a hard time just connecting with you on the phone sometimes. So,
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so glad you were able to be here today.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you.
glad I was able to do it. Okay then.
Yes.
All right.
All the
Thank you.
best. Keep in touch.
I will. Thank you.
Little final walkthrough. Everything's closed up, all the lights are out.